remarks, I would like to start up the panel asking my first question to Dr. Deepa Malik. Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am, for taking out your precious time. But you are a true example of strength, inspiration. You won Padma Shri. You have won Arjuna Award, the most prestigious awards we call in the sports, the Paralympics also. What was your inspiration? And before we want to know more about you, we would like to know your story, how you started and how you converted your journey into reward.
Okay. First of all, a very happy Army Day to all, and definitely a very happy New Year. Thank you for having me on such an important platform. And I kind of feel connected because it's almost a year and a half that I have been inducted into Haryana Real Estate Regulatory Authority. So that directly connects me to real estate. And before I begin answering your question, let me just narrate the incident right from today. Today, since it's a lockdown, you can't go across borders, no office. So I decided to take up a new challenge this year. I have not been very good with greenery, pots, potted plants, glass. And I said, this life cannot go without having to experience nurturing plants and growing my own vegetables. So I was looking for a little farmland and I went for its survey. Of course, I had so-called real estate brokers. I had different appointments. And the moment I would land there, they looked at me and they would ask me, Madam, koi aur bhi aa raha hai? So it was just me, my daughter, me driving. And every time I would reach somewhere, my daughter would give me the wheelchair. I would come out and just two ladies driving in farmlands. And then they would say, ठीक है, बाकी तो बात साहब जब आएंगे तब कर लेंगे. And I said, what are you waiting for? I am buying. This is my earned money. I want to see the place and I'm going to decide. So it's somewhere that dilemma, that prejudice is still there, that जमीन की बात हो रही है, खरीदारी की बात हो रही है, बड़ा पैसा है, तो शायद आदमी आके करेंगे. और जमीन की बात तो, और रियल एस्टेट की बात तो फिर आदमी करेंगे. So I could see that, and this is despite them recognizing who I was. So I am somebody who comes across as a woman of substance. So this is the stereotype. And you say, what is my story? My story is plain and simple, that time and again, Almighty has served the challenge of disability or challenges with my body, very serious challenges. I had tumors as a child. I was bedridden for 4 years, lying in the hospital, undiagnosed for 2 years. And then finally, when the diagnosis happened, very, very harsh and, very back-breaking kind of a rehab, lot of taboos, a childhood which was difficult, going as a little girl, going to school on a wheelchair, then on calipers, then on walker, then on a walking stick, wearing all sorts of gadgets, looking like an alien. Today, at least, there is internet. These are the platforms. There are inclusive education talks, special education. Children are more exposed. The infrastructure is growing to be a little better. But think of me almost 35 years ago, 40 years ago, going like that. I think maybe 45 years ago. And then everything repeating itself. First, I get married. I have my first child. My daughter meets with an accident at the age of 1 year, 5 months. She gets hemiplegic, paralyzed on the left side of the body. Internal bleeding compresses the brain parenchyma, and doctors giving a kind of a doubt that she might be intellectually challenged as well. So wondering what happened, I, as a child, had suffered for 4 to 5 years, then why my daughter had to suffer a similar thing. Took it in my stride. I said, maybe it's time for me to pay gratitude to all those, including parents, doctors who had looked after me and made me walk again. Just when I was looking after my daughter, busy with her rehab, I get my tumors back. My tumors come back at the age of 30. I'm a young mother of two very young children. Devika, elder one, under rehab training, still struggling to recover from her left side of the body paralysis. Younger one being just 3 years old. A husband at the war, Kargil was on. And in 1999, 3rd June, I was told that you could either die or never walk again, because if we are able to scoop out the tumors, it'll cut your nerves. And and as predicted, that is what happened. I always say, ma'am, you said I'm September born. Yes, I'm 30th September born. My birth number is 3. That's what they say numerologically. And 3rd June is again 3. So I was born and reborn. That's how I look at it. And then, of course, when I was born the second time, when I was a child, I never understood these challenges because I was shielded by my parents. But this time, I was the woman who was a grown-up woman, who was a wife, a mother, and also a mother of a daughter who was undergoing her share of disability. The taboo surrounded us, the stereotype around disability, especially when you don't have a bladder or a bowel control. So your destiny is you will die in a room in your own urine and your own feces, with 3 major surgeries on the spinal cord, vertebral columns cut, regular MRIs, no body control below the chest level, temperature control of the body affected. Like I said, no bladder, no bowel. This woman is a liability. This woman is a financial liability. How is the poor husband serving in the army going to carry her place to place, because it's a transferable job? You get 4 types of accommodation and during one tenure in one city. You move into a guest room, then you go to a temporary accommodation, then you get the captain's accommodation, and then finally by the time you get your major or your colonel accommodation, you're ready to get transferred again. Who's going to pack the house? Who's going to? So my husband, out of love, leaves army with no financial planning. So I get cursed even more. Oh my God. And that's when I decided that time to break these barriers, time to discover myself and create an identity which is different than being called a liability, different than being called a sad woman, a bad mother, a wife who can give no marital bliss, somebody who can never travel again. So I think this typical stereotype where people were, I had become a topic of discussion and everybody was giving me problems. Nobody was giving me a solution to where I was. There was nobody telling me what to do in this body, how to live in this body, what are my options in this body, where can I travel in this body, what can I do from this body. And I was not there to give up. So I think that's my journey, a journey of discovering new options, new opportunities. And if they are not there, creating them for myself. And if I am ready to create and others are not letting me create it, then fight for it. And here I am.
Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am. Your journey is so
I think
inspiring.
we all need to just stand up and salute her.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Seriously, this is so, I don't know whether the word is inspiring.
Oh, that's so
I'm
sweet.
really, really touched.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm much older than you, so my blessing.
Tara ma'am, that's really, really sweet of you. Thank you. I can literally see you stand up. Thank you so much. Means a lot. And Tara ma'am, I don't know what is the definition of normal. मुझे लोग पूछते हैं जब आप normal हुआ करती थी तो आप क्या करती थी? I said, what do you mean normal? I mean, who's going to define normal? Is my nose normal, or is Preeti's nose normal, or is Tara ma'am's nose normal? I mean, what is normal? Who will define normal? And again, beauty. Oh my God, because that was the same year I won a beauty contest. I was the Navy Queen. My husband was in the Defense Services Staff Course in Ooty, and the Navy Ball happened. It was a Golden Jubilee course. And I won a crown there and said, oh, Bechari, कितनी सुंदर हुआ करती थी. And I said, I still feel beautiful. No medical problem can stop me from feeling beautiful. I think beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So is my beauty gone, or the eyes of the beholder is fizzy? They don't know how to look at beauty in me. And these were the things which were my trigger points. They were my inspirations. And this is a very popular women magazine. This is Femina. And tell me, if you take away the wheelchair from this woman, isn't she still beautiful? I mean, why, when I sit on a wheelchair, I am considered not beautiful? Look at this. This is an initiative that I took with help of Tanya Chaitanya. Again, she's the editor of Femina, and this one is my favorite. I mean, this woman is still beautiful. So just because you put her on a wheelchair, you think she's not beautiful? And so this became like a journey. And now tell me, if the same woman is made to sit on a wheelchair, isn't she still beautiful? So that's when I decided I needed to be financially independent. I had never worked. I had never educated myself to work because I was a very happy-go-lucky biker kind of a babe, married to a guy who was outdoorsy and who gave me a bike, and I never had to take his permissions. Till today, I find it very strange when women ask me, you went to drive on high altitudes in Himalayan car rallies. Your husband let you do it. And I'm like, when did I take the permission? So why do we women need a permission to succeed? All we need is our own self-belief, our own hard work. And then I turn around and ask my husband, I said, when I was jumping in River Yamuna, trying to swim against the current in chest below paralysis at Allahabad in Sangam, where due to the Sangam, there are undercurrents in the river and you get pulled down in the water. And I went there and I never took him along because I usually never take him along, because the moment I take him along, he will say, "Arey husband, kitna acha hai, ye kitna acha तैर रही है." And I was like, तैर मैं रही हूँ, नदी में मैं हूँ, लिम्का रिकॉर्ड वाले मुझे देख रहे हैं कि मैं रुक तो नहीं रही हूँ. Then just because he's sitting in the spectator stand, how does it make him the achiever? That's how, and that's mostly comes from women. The surprising part is it comes from women. So I went there and I asked him, I said, women ask me that, how come your husband allows you to do it? And I never asked you, how do you feel? And he turned around and he said that, because I know you can do it. You have given me the faith. I said, then where does the faith come from? He says, the faith comes from your preparation, your diligent acquiring of knowledge of a particular subject, your practice to do what you're going to do, and above all, your self-belief that you will do it. And I also know that if you're not able to do it, you're going to rise again, practice again and do it. And if you are still not able to do it, you will never sulk about it and let it affect your spirits, because you will find something else to do. So that is how probably has been my journey.
Lovely. That's amazing.